Hi, this is Amy Lewis.
Maybe more makeup.
This is Engineers Unplugged. Hi, this is Amy Lewis. Welcome back to another episode of Engineers Unplugged. I'm here with Frank and Damion, and we're going to be talking about enterprise cloud. So, Damion, take us away.
Thanks a lot, Amy. Hey, good morning, everyone. We're here at VMworld today, and I think the topic that we want to talk about today is is on the minds of a lot of IT managers out there, and that's enterprise private cloud. Working with Frank here at Cisco, Intel and Cisco are working across standards bodies to try to create the capabilities in an open fashion that enable enterprise IT to deliver the cloud experience their users crave and demand. And this is really addressing a fundamental gap that's opening up today between users and the IT department that's charged with delivering those applications. There's a lot of demands for modern features, XaaS, on-premises consumption, all in a secure fashion, yet IT is being asked to cut costs and deliver using standard suites of applications. Because at the end of the day, what this is all about is, applications. And draw a little XY axis here to talk about the different kinds of applications. So, down here you have something like your ERP, which year to year stays fairly static, but up here on the right corner you've got something like big data insight, where this can have very real-time implications for the line of business owners. How do you enable your systems to be able to deliver uninterrupted service, minimizing implications or minimizing impact to legacy services, while also enabling flexible delivery of the new types of applications your users demand? Frank here is going to talk a little bit about an approach Cisco's taking to enable these experiences for the standard enterprise IT user base.
Great, thanks, Damion. So the real key about taking the enterprise to IT and having a cloud experience is to be able to take the applications and deliver them in an on-demand way of any workload anywhere, whether it's physical or virtual or any combination of hypervisors. So what we really want to do is take a focus on the applications themselves and allow those to really dictate and drive the requirements of the infrastructure. So it starts with a policy model. And so the applications will dictate the policy model itself. And whether it's web, app, DB, or whatever the structure of the application is, we have to have a policy that allows us to consistently deliver this downstream to the applications to the end devices that are into the data center. So what we do from here is, now this is really where a lot of the work where Cisco and Intel are working together. So in the area of the policy model, we do the group policy model. That's part of OpenStack Neutron. And this allows us to take the structure of the policy to be delivered by controllers downstream to the devices that are sitting at the edge of the data center. So once this policy is developed and it's moved out into the open community, then we have devices that we actually do the southbound programming to. So the protocol in the open standard track protocol that we're using to drive this is what we call OpFlex. And OpFlex enables a declarative model where it says, if I want to start a VM, or I want to turn on quality of service, or I want to turn on some service, it declares what the intent of the application instruction is, but the devices themselves are now free to implement that as the way the vendor sees fit. So now southbound programming to the device, we can go into Open vSwitch, we can go into bare metal devices, we can go into compute and storage. And then this way now we have a common way of working down the path of this. So we have OpenStack work that we're doing together. We have Open vSwitch work that we're doing together. And we're collaborating around the ecosystem around OpFlex that allows us to take the application requirements that Damion was talking about here and actually push those down specifically into the devices. And so in the bare metal area, where we have hardware, Of course, Cisco and Intel collaborate a lot on not only hardware on the switching side, but hardware on the compute side. And in that environment, now we have a consistent way of driving the industry towards an open implementation.
And I think that's important because at the end of the day, this is enabling automation.
Yeah.
And automation is what enables the infrastructure to respond dynamically to the application requirements. So, Frank, talk a little bit about the ecosystem that is developing around Opflex, because it's really exciting.
Yeah, so I think what's critical is if you look at what's going on in the industry, especially through the extension of the blueprint and OpenStack Neutron, the industry's realizing that we need to move away from the VLAN, the port, sort of the LAN emulation model that happens in the software overlay. And what we need to do is take that down to an environment. So it's Intel, it's Cisco, it's Microsoft, it's a bunch of vendors in that community driving through OpenStack. And what it allows us to do now is have this model extensibility, not just to one vendor switch or not just to one vendor's hypervisor implementation, but really covering layer 4 through 7 appliances, both physical and virtual. Physical switching, so we're going to have integration of the southbound protocols between Intel technologies and Cisco technologies, and we'll be driving that further, driven by all the leaders in the industry around the ecosystem.
And an important thing that we're working on in that aspect, Frank, is enabling the consumers or the enterprise customers to get all of the features they pay for in the hardware.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Exposing all of the capabilities up through OpenStack and enabling the hardware offloads.
That's
be
right.
it Cisco or Intel hardware to deliver extra acceleration and performance.
Yeah, so I think this is a long tradition of Cisco and Intel working together. Intel recognized very early on the VT technologies were required to accelerate virtualization technologies in hardware, and this is just an extension of that interaction that we've had between the companies that will be accelerating the performance in Open vSwitch as we start delivering this down into the software environments.
Okay, that was awesome. A lot of information in a very quick time. So now the question becomes, great collaboration between Cisco and Intel. Can you collaborate on drawing a unicorn? It's unicorn challenge time.
Okay.
All right, can they do it, folks?
You brought the A challenge.
It's game
well,
time.
A unicorn is a mythical creature, right?
That's right.
So this could be a metaphorical unicorn? I don't know, boy, we're at VMworld here. My head is full of ideas. Frank,
I have a couple ideas too.
I don't think any of them are good for me.
And I think they're probably not ideas we should put on.
That's right.
How
about
this?
I can't draw the horse head. There you go. How's that?
I like it. I like it.
I guess the rear end is over here somewhere, so we'll just put an arrow towards the rear end.
There you go. Better together.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see you next time on Engineers Unplugged.
Thanks.
That was awesome.